movement is different. You at a small town like this, every step is like almost extended. Like you see people, they just walking slow. They not even trying to rush to the next spot. You go to a city area, everybody moving with a purpose.
With a purpose, and not everybody got jobs either.
Facts.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy, Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the AJ McMullen. And before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button, because we do this for y'all, because we love y'all. We just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. How are we doing, Mac?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. When we got on here this morning, I was like, bro, are we doing this joint too early now? Like, the past couple of weeks, we had a few hiccups trying to get on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when we were working at Amazon, it was a whole lot easier to do these jokers at 4 o'clock. I don't think we were this tired at 4 o'clock when we were working at Amazon, bro.
I feel
Like,
that.
I don't know what it is, bro. Is it just me?
So all right. I ain't gonna say it's just you, because like I've been tired, especially working at the job I do now. It's besides all the walking, I gotta deal with the elements, and it's a bit warmer now,
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
body's working overtime to, kind of keep things working regularly. Been
Stay alive.
Yeah. Been dripping sweat about every day this past week.
Yeah.
So and it's funny because I remember back in the day when I was going to high school, it would be like summer or whatever, and warmer temperatures and all this other stuff. Like, everybody came back to the house, mom, dad, brothers, and we just all passed out. I was like, the sun is still out. It's like freaking 6-7 o'clock. Everybody just passed out. I'm like, sun is really beaming out there. I'm like, whoa. Woke up, everybody's just like stumbling out of the rooms and stuff. And I'm like, did we all just take like a family nap just now? Like, what is going on here?
Bro.
That sun is real. Sun is real.
My job now, bro. Like I don't know, bro. I'm still like, I thought it was gonna be chill. Like for the most part, like not necessarily chill, but like easier. Like, I was working at Amazon lifting boxes and like pretty much in the gym for about 11 to 12 hours a day, walking like pretty much like upwards of like 15 miles a day and all that other stuff. And y'all, like, for real, I'm not exaggerating about this. Mark can vouch for me right now. Like, there were days when we looked at our smartwatches at the end of the day, like 26,000 steps in one shift. Like that was a real thing. Like, and I'm still hitting upwards of about 15,000 steps right now, bro. Like, even I sit at my desk for a majority of the day, just having conversations with customers and stuff. But for the rest of the time, I'm walking around trying to get paperwork together. I'm walking around, like, going between department to department, trying to get the organized stuff. Walking around the showroom with customers, walking outside with customers to see some of our off-road stuff. But bruh, for real, like, I'm still doing the same stuff, like still doing the same amount of walking, bruh. And it's wild.
And what the dealership, that's way smaller than Amazon, isn't it?
I mean, it's way. I mean, they say it's the biggest.
Oh,
The biggest power sport dealership on the East Coast, but it is way smaller than Amazon, but it's still a pretty big dealership.
oh, okay. All right. I'm thinking of like the little janks on the strip, like going to Richmond past Petersburg.
That joint like
Bigger than that.
it's like a warehouse.
Come on.
Yeah, it's what they said 60,000 square feet.
Mm.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. Cover that distance on the daily. You know, you're just walking back and forth. But yeah, man, that's. It, I mean, it. It's not just like physically draining. You know, dealing with people on a daily as well is
I
also
was
like
just about to
mentally.
say that.
Yeah, because you know, you would think my job, I'm just putting paint on the ground. I wouldn't have to interact with a lot of people, but it's the complete opposite. You know, apparently the government has this grant to they putting in like millions, trillions of dollars that they got to lay fiber. So everybody's trying to bid for contracts to do the job. Everybody wants to do the job of putting fiber in the ground. And it's like the county I'm in, it's like 5 different companies. Or it's one big company and they got like 5 groups of contractors or whatever trying to do the work at the same time. So everybody's calling, well, why isn't this marked up? Why isn't this ticket done? We didn't put this in a month ago, still hasn't gotten done. And I'm like, dog, I'm the only one out here in this county, dog. It's just me. Like, give me some time. I'm heading that way. And
We
then
want to put fiber in the ground, but we can't get solar panels on the telephone poles and get our power lines to go underground.
So that, yeah, it was supposed to be a movement. I think not a movement, but it was a incentive that I thought they were gonna give out. They were talking about it. I seen on something where they were gonna take all the aerial power lines and put them in the ground, because putting them in the air, having them on those poles, you know, wear and tear, weather, them things fall, and then it's a hassle getting them back. Well, I mean, they got machines that they could just get you a small 5-man crew. I've seen them like just put a pole in the ground and, you know, rehook it up, but that's it's a lot of work too.
Yeah, and a lot of people are out of power when those go down.
Yeah. And it's weird, right? Because I always thought like fiber is this new high tech, you know, piece of equipment. We've had fiber for like years now.
Hell yeah.
They was talking about like high speed internet. I'm like, okay, this is new, fiber optic cables and stuff. I'm like, okay, all right. Nah, that thing been out since like, I think the oldest one I've seen dated to 1988, I think.
Yeah, I remember back when I was younger, and I didn't think it was the same thing. I was like, when I found out that it was the same type of technology, I was flabbergasted, bro. I'm gonna use that word,
Yeah.
flabbergasted. We had a little lamp when I was younger, and it had the little strands coming from it.
Yeah.
And then the light at the bottom was like changed colors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, this is pretty interesting. And like up in my house, bro, was the first time and the only time I've ever seen it. My mom always had them joints, like fiber optic lamps. She always had them, all sizes. And when they started talking about fiber optics, I was like, somebody was trying to explain the technology to me. And how, like, people just get to mansplain and stuff to you, like they like, man, we for whatever reason we got to go the long way around the world to explain something. And the dude was explaining it to me, and he was talking to me like I was dumb. And I was like, oh, so you mean to tell me like you could have just said like a fiber optic lamp, and we could have ended this conversation like 5 minutes ago? And he looked at me and was like, yeah, but it's like, I was like, bro,
Nah,
you could have
don't
said that. You could have
explain
just
it.
said that, bro. Like, you so up here trying to talk to me like I'm stupid or something, man. Get out of here.
Yeah, yeah. We had a Christmas tree. Now that I think about it, that had like the little fibers and stuff like intertwined at certain points or whatever. And it
Yeah,
was
my
just like
mom
this
still got
low.
hers, bro.
Come on,
Yeah, bro.
I was back. I was
Them joints
young
was out of style when she bought that joint.
now. Probably got it on sale for that's yeah, that's most definitely. Yep. But it it's wild because like dealing with that on a daily, the physical and then the mental. You try not to stress about it, because like you said, it's a job. At the end of the day, you clock
Mm-hmm.
out. But like, I don't know what it is, but the job will make their problem your priority,
Yeah.
and it's like, luckily, this job is they do real well. Supervisor, she's been at grunt level and moved up, and she's one of the good ones I can honestly say, because she'll go to bat. She'll be like, look, your job, you are only required to do 8 hours. Like them contractors, they gonna have to wait. Yeah, sometimes the big boss kind of rules that out. Be like, nah, we need them to work overtime. But it's a job. They gonna do what they want to do at the end. So
Pretty much. Yeah. Man. All right, so bro, so you know what? Let me backtrack on that one for a second, because I realized yesterday, dog, that I deal with some people who put me in a very dark headspace, and like I've now realized that power sport customers are the worst customers to deal with.
come on.
Like I've never came across a bigger group of more unreasonable people, unreliable people, and it just like just about every single person that I deal with on a daily basis, it just comes out of just they have some outrageous demands that they know for a fact that I can't fulfill, and I have to argue with these people all the time. And I think I just got to a point yesterday. I was like, bro, I'm just tired of arguing with idiots, bro. Like I can't. And we had the sales training dude that he comes like once a month to our store, and yeah, we got the sales training dude that comes to our store like once a month, and he's like contracted with the company, something that we should have been doing, but this neither here or there. But he came through and he was like, "Yeah, man, what's up? What happened to that guy?" I was like, "What guy?" He's like, "The guy that you were just talking to, the one that was trying to trade in 4 units." I was like, "Look, man, I told that man I needed the information. That man wanted to send me pictures of stuff that I didn't need. We don't have the information in front of us. I let him know why I needed it, what I needed it for, why I couldn't value what he was trying to do. And, he said it was an inconvenience, said I was inconveniencing him. And, he hung up on me. So with that
What?
being said, I don't have, he's not a customer anymore. He was like, well, we gotta keep on with the fight. Just reach out to him again and do this and do that, say this to him. And I was like, bro, I said all that while I was on the phone with him. He was like, yeah, man, just just take one last shot in the dark. I'd be damned if I sent that man that message and like 6 hours later he hit me back and was like, yeah, so I got you those pictures. I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck is happening here? I think that was just it. That's not even the most extreme example, but it's like I have these conversations with people on a regular basis, especially like when we had to sit down for negotiations and stuff like that. Like people just become unreasonable, bro. Especially people who ride Harleys.
Especially.
I wish this was a motorcycle rant podcast. I got a lot to say about that, but bro, like, if I got one more person sitting across from me at my desk with a bike that was only worth $5,000 when they bought the Joker, trying to sell it to me 17 years later for double the price of that what they bought from it just because they got gold handlebars on it that cost $50,000, bro. If I get one more of them people in front of my desk, bro, I'm probably going to jail.
Oh my,
I'm probably cussing them out, dog.
Man, people are they put a value on stuff, and
yeah,
it's insane. It's wild because like it's one thing to fix up a car, bike, whatever. You take pride and joy in that. You spend money on that, but you have to realize that you're the only one that's gonna hold that item. You give that item the value. Like you try to, if you're not gonna resell it to a like-minded person that sees what it's worth for, like you see it, then you just SOL. I don't understand why people try to, go back to the dealership and like, oh well, I did this, and that. This dealership don't care about
I'm
that.
saying, your car 2014, right?
2015 Nissan.
2015. Yeah. Imagine going to the dealership, going to a Nissan dealership, and trying to sell your car back to Nissan for the price that it was paid for when it was new.
Yeah, that's nah.
Are you like, I'm not doing it? I'm not doing this deal unless I get this amount of money. And it like folks just like, yo,
crazy.
We don't even go by KBB, but KBB isn't even saying that your car's worth that much. So where are you getting this number from?
Big facts. Yeah. I mean, so why do people jump through those hoops, go in the circles, like waste people time, like Mac or whatever? When if first of all, you know you're not gonna get a big price for a vehicle, or whatever. You go to a dealership, you buy something for $45,000. At the dealership, you pay $45,000 for a car, vehicle, whatever. I had to learn it too. Once you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. That value drops. You have that vehicle for X amount of years or whatever, right? New model stuff came out. Better parts for it, better whatever has already came out for that thing twice over. And then you try to take it back to a dealership and sell it for the price you got it or something more. Nah, dog, just take that L. You bought it. This is how the world works.
That's how capitalism works. It's been like that for ages now, over 100 years now.
Facts. I'm like, just like I said, just go sell it to somebody that is gonna see it for what it's worth. I mean, you might not get 45,000. You might get close to it if you did actually put some work into it, kept the maintenance up with it, because it's just like you don't put mileage on it. You don't put wear and tear on it. You don't.
Mm-hmm. You did some stuff to it in the computer that you try to make the joint faster. I don't nobody know what you did to it. You'd add the mufflers to it. It took sensors off and check engine light on. That's a different kind of beast right there. No.
Yeah.
So I said it's a good project car.
Thanks.
It's a project car.
Trying to turn mine into one now, but what we're trying to, and I mean, I know this isn't like a little financial advisor podcast. This ain't that type of podcast, but you gotta, y'all have to understand that with life, people aren't going to see. They're not going to value things like you value. They're not going to see the value in it like you do, and that's okay. Uh, with anything you do, it don't got to be a vehicle, whatever. But just don't blow off the handles. Don't blow up over on somebody or whatever just because they don't see what you see. It was given to you, or you received it a certain way, and it might be your golden goose, but somebody else is just a car. It's just a computer. It's just whatever. It really all depends on what you do with it, what you make out of it, what you get out of it. That vehicle, that bike could be used to promote something. That computer could be used to make something. That car out there sometimes a car is just that transportation, but it's all what you use, what you know how to do to get something out of it. That's all it
I
is.
just remembered I came across a police officer,
Mm.
and he was trying to trade in a bike that belonged to his daughter. It's an old Honda,
Mm.
like 2018 Honda, like the base of the base bottom bike that you can buy from Honda, a CBR 300. And this bike was garbage, like straight garbage. And they
Jeez.
wanted to sell that joint for $5,000, bro. 2018. And I'm like, yeah, I know exactly where this is going. So he said he wanted 5,000, and he was like, 3,800 is the lowest I'll go. And then we ended up negotiating down to 3,000. And my manager said 3,000 if nothing is needed. So we agreed to 3,000. We shook hands on it. We wrapping it up, chopping it up, or whatever. And they get it back to the shop. They do an inspection on it.
Mm.
They said new chain, new tires, new air filter. And my manager was like, 2,200. Can't do it. I went and told my man that price, and he cussed me out, Mark. I'm talking laid me out. I was like, and I'm just standing there, just looking at him with a straight face, like, yep, yep. And I was training the girl that just started there, and she was like, yo, what the hell? Just like there was such a calm conversation, and all of a sudden a switch flipped up. I was like, yep, and it's a normal day at normal day as a salesperson.
Wow. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, so I say that because like if I end up with like a whole bunch of tickets, or I end up in a situation where I'm getting picked up for some crazy stuff and some trumped up charges, that's what happened. I made some enemies somewhere. I just wanted to put that out there. We were done with the conversation. I just wanted to put that out there before we moved on.
Lord, man.
We were looking real yin and yang up in there. So,
and
Yang was pissed, if you know what I mean.
I got you. Oh, oh, yeah. Anti-way, people. Anti-way.
So I sent Marcus a message over the last week, and we just wanted to touch on that because like when I heard it, it was, it was something. They say like not every message is going to resonate with you the same. They say like somebody can say the same exact thing in 3 different ways, but it was the third way that you heard it that made it make sense to you. And I think this was the one for me. Because like, though I've heard this message multiple times in my life, the way this was said, it struck a fire under me. So Marcus, you got the message pulled up, man.
Yeah, I get you. And where'd you hear it from? Like just
No, I heard it from Steve Harvey said it, man.
Okay.
You know, I listen to my man every once in a while, and you know, like I think it's because, bruh, Steve Harvey, he was blue collar like us, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
That man was blue collar up until he was like 28 years old. I'm talking like grease neck blue collar. Like man was working in a factory at one point, and you know, he at some point he was like, "Look, I'm done with this life. I don't want it no more. So I'm going to take another step in a different direction." And like with that being said, like with his experience, I think that has made him the perfect person to idolize as it pertains to the Ascension brand and what we are trying to do as a brand, and that is motivate and inspire blue collar people to be better than they were yesterday. So like I think that's why the message resonated with me so much, because he, you know, just the way he said it.
And what the message says is stop being afraid to fail if you do something, because failure is guaranteed if you do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop being afraid to fail if you do something, because failure is guaranteed if you do nothing. Man.
So I like how that's worded, because we've seen, we've been a part of, we've worked with people, uh and like the only reason they come to a job, they come to the job that they're working at, the job that we've had, uh day in, day night, morning, nights, they getting up, putting their bodies through hell, and they're doing all this is because they're afraid to do anything else, to start something new,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it's dealing with their passion. It's like, and we've said it before. They want to do these things. They want to be, photographers. They want to be, engineers, streamers, the whole 9 yards. But it's like they gotta pay bills. They're in a situation where if the money isn't coming next week, it's an issue, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
what do we have to do to get a person to realize that that first step forward is all it takes? A consecutive step forward is all it takes, you know. And I seen another phrase that would go hand in hand with that one, and it talks about, just start. Don't worry about not knowing. You'll learn along the way, but just start.
Yeah. And this topic, it doesn't apply everywhere, because there are environments where there are more entrepreneur spirits, where people are actually going above and beyond to make sure that they don't have a job. You know, this is the
Facts.
environments where where people are,
Conditioned to get
I would say, you know,
jobs.
they kind of
I was gonna say, we're conditioned to get a stable job, to get a
no,
secure.
I'm talking
No,
about like there that's this environment, you know,
yeah,
but you know, there are other environments out there where people, like, you know, California, for instance, like people in California ain't out here talking about getting jobs. People in California are entrepreneurs.
mm,
Like for the most part, when I think of people from Cali, like, you know, from the Los Angeles area, the some of the Central California areas, like they are entrepreneurs at spirit. Like, you know, there's a lot of people out there getting complaints because they on their parents' couch at the age of 25 years old, but they got a side hustle that they've been working on for a while that they refuse to give up on. So, you know, it's a little bit of a different culture out there. So not everybody there is doing what we're doing here. And you know, people from New York is the same way. Like, everybody is like, you know, people from New York, they work 2 or 3 jobs to make to push their side hustle forward. But somehow in our environment, in the Central Virginia area, we become stagnant really fast, and we don't focus on our side hustle. We focus on somebody else's hustle because it's paying us, it's paying the bills. So it's allowing us to get by. So yeah, I talked to a dude from New York before, and this will kind of change my perspective on how I think. I talked to the dude. He was from New York. I met him when I was working at Walmart distribution, and at the time I want to say I was 24, and he was a little younger than me. He was like 22, and I was talking to him about my home situation. Told my man I was married and had a daughter, and he was like, "Bro, what the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Hold up, bro. What is this? What are you talking about, dog? Like, what are you saying?" It's like, bro, like at that age, dog, like where I'm from, bro, like people don't do that. Like, people just ain't out here just getting married when they that young and having kids, dog. Like, you just sat up here and retired. I was like, oh, bro, what? He's like, bro, man, like, for real. Where I'm from, man, people ain't out here having kids that young, bro. People ain't trying to have kids that young. Like, your life is over when you do that. And I was like, oh. Like, when I heard that, I was just telling myself that there's people in other places that's doing things a lot different than we do here. So, like, for real, if people from like the big cities can grind when they're young, and they can start side hustle, start businesses, and become multimillionaires by the age of 30, then why can't we have that same mentality?
All right, so what while you were speaking, it made me think of a couple of things. One is that, you know, Central Virginia is known for, like, it's a it's an area of retirement, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only people that come here or, you know, travel from afar, it's always, you know, it's, and I've heard this multiple times, you know, dude has this nice house, or, you know, you walk in, this dude seems a little bit, you know, more put together, and you're like, hey, how, where are you from? Like what did you do to get all this wealth? Well, you know, originally I'm from somewhere miles away, you know, California, Colorado, I've heard Ohio even, you know, I'm just out here, you know, this is like this
Because
is
it's
where
slow
I'm
here.
retired. Yeah, you know,
Because it's slow here.
it's a nice
I don't have to
little
deal
pace
with the
out
hustle and
here.
bustle of the big city.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's a place of retirement. You know, most of the people that, you know, own something here or have something nice here is like an old person that's been through, like you said, been through the hustle and bustle, and now they're just ready to get something lakeside, countryside, and they just putting their feet up, sipping their coffee, and reading the morning paper. You know, that's all they got to do. They done put in their time. They done made it to retirement, and or they just made enough money to where they could retire. So yeah, and then
I'm
the
glad.
whole,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and also the New York piece. Uh, I never really understood it. I never really think why New York is like the place for dreamers, right? You know, every time you hear somebody wants to make it big or, you know, follow their passion, follow their dreams, they go to New York, you know, and it made me think that, you know, it's a constant grind and hustle out there, right? Like
Yeah.
a whole new way of hustling, grinding out there. Like it's funny because like
Let's not go too far away from that whole retirement country thing, because I want to talk about that because I'm glad you are like for real, like, is people out in Lawrenceville having that conversation, like talking about how like Virginia is a retirement spot,
yeah,
like this is pretty much the top of the South, Jacksonville, Florida, without the beach, like real
yeah,
talk, like it's a retirement community, and that's what I've been trying to tell people for years now, that we are in a retirement community, and we are the result of people who are growing up in a place that is ultimately dead.
yeah,
You know, in figure of speech, obviously, but you know, like there's no movement happening because all of the people who are here, they're not moving anymore. They're not trying to move anymore. So we grew up here we grew up here only seeing what we're seeing in front of us, and that is the retirement community. So therefore, we live our lives in a space where we are now trying to grow our lives based off of what we're seeing, but we start doing things earlier than most. We start having babies earlier than most. We start, you know, calling it quits earlier than most. We start picking our careers earlier than most. You know, like people don't choose careers out here. Careers choose people out here.
yeah.
Like
Well,
there's so many people working at Amazon and Walmart distribution center, from Blackstone and Lawrenceville and all those places like that. So many people, because the career shows the people. Like I started working at Walmart distribution center simply because there were like 4 other guys when I worked at Sears who also worked at Walmart distribution center. So I was like, well, if these guys are doing it, I I probably need to do it too, because they drive nice cars and I don't.
mm, yeah, yeah. it, it, mm. The retirement community is it's real. You know, like Max said, some people they and it's crazy because they'll be in it and they don't understand that they're in it. Like they'll complain. They complain. It's like, oh, you know, Lawrenceville, for example, Lawrenceville, it's so dead. We only got one
I can't even
stoplight.
imagine how bad it is out there, bro.
You know, we got we only got like 2 legit establishments. We got a Hardee's and a Pino's. You know, if you want to count the Chinese store too, you know, they're 3. All right, we got 3 legit establishments. You know, the other junks are like mom and pop stuff, and it took a grip to get those other two now, 2 mom and pop spots, right? Because I recently learned that the reason why it takes so much for, you know, the town to get any new business is because the people around here, they don't want it. I heard they said
Yeah.
that they don't want to take away from the historical value or the historical look of Lawrenceville, and I'm like, historical? What?
Ain't nothing
What?
out there, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like we got a
Like
tobacco trail that's
I can
abandoned.
see if y'all had like a whole bunch of like historical landmarks or something out there. Ain't nothing out there.
Not a single thing, dog.
There's not even any old historical buildings out there for real.
The railroad. That's it. That's all we got. And we took
Now
that
you
up,
can
turned it
you
into a
can
trail.
oh we're down.
Yeah, we don't even got the railroad no more. We took it up.
So we contradicting our own words here is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
All right. That's
Oh,
wild, bro.
But yeah, it's like living in a twilight zone, and it where like nothing moves, nothing changes. You know, it's frustrating for like, because you see the potential in the buildings. You know, we're not. I ain't gonna say we have the potential to to do something with it, even if it's just like something small. You know, we're right off a major highway, and it could be a pit stop for whatever rest area, whatever. But like I
Hmm.
said, it, there's people in places that don't want it to change, and it forces people to either do one or two things. And a lot of retirement places, retirement communities are like this. You're gonna either have to move, you know, go to places like New York, go to places that you know are constantly growing or are constantly promoting growth, or
Yeah,
just slip right into retirement, into early retirement, basically. You know,
early
you
retirement while still working.
yeah.
Yeah, you retire. You live in the retired lifestyle, but still got a steady full time job. Steady full time job. It's so wild, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's a whole, and I don't understand how people don't feel that pressure while they're living. And maybe they do, and maybe they just don't want to address it. But for the most part, like yo, everybody is even in that same boat where they're bro. When I was doing it, it felt horrible. Like it felt like I was about to explode every single day before I understood exactly where I was supposed to be going, and the fact that I was supposed to have a bigger purpose in life. And before
Mhm.
I knew what that purpose was, I thought I was going to flip and explode. Like I was just like asking questions to people, and I'm asking like older people who are who doing the same thing that I'm doing. Like, bro, like what am I supposed to be doing? Like why am I not fulfilled by this? Like, where am I supposed to get my joy from? And like people were telling me like, yo, like you got to find something to do, you got to do this, you got to do that, but they weren't saying anything that actually helped me.
Mhm.
Like I had one guy one time, and he was in the military. He spent 20 plus years in the military, which is weird because he spent 20 plus years, 23 I think it was, 23 years in the military, but he was also working with me at Walmart distribution center on his 17th year. And then like he would tell stories, and every single story that he would tell was when he was in the army and how he used to travel all the time.
Mhm.
But the last time he traveled was when he was in the army. His wife takes more vacations than he does because he can't get off of work to do so.
Ain't that wild?
And I'm just sitting here like, bro, like what are we what is happening here, bro? Like I couldn't figure out, and I asked him, I was like, man, you sound like you were more fulfilled when you were back when in the army, bro. Like, what are you doing now? What have you done? Where have you been? What have you enjoyed recently? Oh, he just ended up getting pissed off at me and wouldn't answer the question.
Yeah, so like besides being in the military, the equivalent of that is, you know, the old people you see around retirement communities, where they heyday or that their stories that they have or talk about
Mm-hmm.
is always, you know, from the high school, from you know, uh maybe some of them did go to the military and they got stories for days, but you know, couldn't cut it, or you know, they fell back into the retirement community, and they do what, try to teach, or they try to.
I don't know. I don't really know what they're doing. Like I think they're just trying to make themselves feel good, and they're hoping that somebody will listen to them.
Mm,
They're trying to make themselves feel better about where they couldn't go.
big facts, yeah, yeah. And it's like, you know, you trying to tell a story and you're like, oh man, you must can't wait to do that again. Like, no, youngster, I done retired. I'm settled down. Got me a nice little spot out here. You know, in the cut, away from everything. I'm just out here chilling. Out here chilling. Hey, I mean, you don't want to go to Jamaica one last time, or you know, just get a different scenery than trees. Go to a nice sandy
or
beach or something.
take an actual vacation,
Actual vacation, actually
like a real one, not a job appointed vacation.
fact.
Cause this man, like the dude I used to work at Walmart distribution center, where he was always talking about where he went to, like it was a vacation spot. I'm like, bro, you went over there to work. He's like, but you know, I was like, I want to travel the world. He's like, man, you know, I lived in the world. Did you know? You do know I'm in the army. So like I understand how this works. You didn't live anywhere. You went over there. You stayed in a base. You were on call 24/7, and you got to leave maybe one day out the entire time that you were over there. Bro, I know how this works. You didn't live anywhere. I was like, your wife, on the other hand, she probably lived in those places. Your ass,
Facts.
nah. You worked. And he had a real hands-on job too. I'm like, bro, y'all know for a fact you ain't get no days off.
Hmm.
You were the first one there, last one to leave every single day.
Come on. But yeah, it's you can't be in the headspace, especially as young cats. Like if you want to succeed in life, like yo, just take that step forward. Like if you gotta move, and 9 times out of 10, you to experience life, to actually experience life, you have to move out of the retirement community. You got to your hometown. And this is how you know you're in a retirement community. If you just walk around your hometown, drive through your hometown, and there's not at least like more than 10, businesses, actual like businesses that are thriving, 9 times out of 10, you're in a retirement community. If all you have is a
I got a better example. If you in a city and the only thing that you can think of to do to make money is to work at the local
yeah,
the local Amazon warehouse or the Walmart distribution center or Aldi distribution center. Like, big businesses are the only places that you had to work, and there's absolutely not one person that you can talk to about a side hustle. You're in the wrong community.
yeah. I like that example. Yeah, and like I said, man, the only way to get out of that, only way to do better is to get out of that. Uh, there are cities, communities, places where you go and it is so lively that it's contagious. Like
Yeah.
the movement is different. You at a small town like this, every step is like almost extended. Like you see people, they just walking slow. They not even trying to rush to the next spot. You go to a city area, everybody moving with a purpose.
With a purpose, and not everybody got jobs either.
Facts. But like I said, it's the movement is so contagious. The mindset is so contagious. A purpose. People are moving with a purpose. And 9 times out of 10, they don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know where they're going. They just know that I have to get to this spot and I have to work like hell to do whatever. Regular job, side hustle. I gotta get it. I gotta grind out here. Cause nobody's gonna make a name for myself but me.
Yeah. Uh, Man, I got so many different avenues that I wanted to travel up, but you know, we don't have a whole bunch of time left to cover everything. But you know, I was having a conversation with my wife recently, and you know, we've gotten to a point where fear has clutched us, and as it pertains to our next chapter. And you know, she was worried about the financial piece, and I asked her, I was like, so here's the question that I want to ask you: do you want money? She's like, I want money because we need to pay for XYZ. And I'm like, so you do want money? But here's the thing about money: if you want it, it'll come. Like I don't know how it worked, but like I've never seen anybody who want money and it didn't come. Like I just never seen it. Like if they wanted money, they'll find a way to get it. If you needed to pay for something, you will find a way to make the bills work. And the reason I know this is because if you think about it, no matter how much you panic or stress out about getting bills paid, you've been doing it for the last 5-6 years anyway. So they've been getting paid. You've wanted the money, and the money came from somewhere. Whether it came from your job, whether you had to get a loan for it, you had to ask somebody for it, you had to dig for coins in the couch, like you got the money. It came from somewhere. So if that's the idea, then why are we so afraid of not making any money? And I straight up told Alyssa, I was like, look, one thing that we gotta keep in mind is that even we, as much as I talk about ways to make money, there are still ways that people make money out here that even surprises me.
Thanks.
Like I was just somebody gave me an idea the other day, and I was just like, yo, I didn't even know that people can do that. Like I mean, I'm 33 years old, and I'm just like, yo, I'm just learning this for the first time that people actually do this. And I'm like, yo, that's such a good idea. Like, I think I'm gonna implement that. You know, I ain't gonna get into it right now, but just know that like if you want the money, it's going to come.
Yeah.
And like people get in this mindset, man, where they're so afraid of losing things, bro. But you don't have anything. You don't have nothing to lose right now because you're at zero. You're only at a stable job and a stable life right now. You doing the mundane. You're waking up every single day doing the same exact thing. You don't have any variety in your life. You ain't got no new stories to tell. Everything that you used to do, or every story that you got, is from a time way back in the past. Like you don't have anything now. So what are we afraid of losing? And when Steve Harvey said you had to jump, the first thing that came from that mentality or that thought process was, if I jump, then I'm going to have to sacrifice everything that I have. I'm going to have to make compromises on the things that I want to have, the lifestyle that I'm in right now. But the problem is with that is that people are too afraid to let go of the things that they have right now. People are too attached to things, emotional bonds, to stuff that has absolutely no relevance to their lives at all, which is a huge problem, bro. Huge problem in this area. And I'm not sure why it's just this area that tends to gravitate towards things, or maybe it's just my family. Maybe it's just everybody I know. But like for real, I've always been able to pack my stuff in a car and live nomadic. I don't. I've always been able to do that. When I met my wife, I was in the process of trying to figure out some things to get rid of. I was about to sell everything on Facebook Marketplace, pack my car, drive across the country. So I've never been in that situation, and maybe it's because I've never attached myself to things. I've always been that backpack dude. Just go ahead, throw all my stuff in the backpack, and whatever I need to figure out, I figure out when I get to where I'm going. Oh, where you going? I don't know. I figure out when I get there.
Nice. All it takes is
go ahead.
Hope and a dream. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
To move forward. And people can't get past that fear point. I mean, I was gonna say this story for the end, but you know, it's wild. The things I've experienced is pretty wild. It made me. What you were saying was made me think of the story, right? Not really a story that actually happened though, but out there in New York, like those people out there, like we said, that hustle, they got a hustle of fearlessness. Like imagine, you know, a street pharmacist, right? And you know that's code for drug dealer. I had this street pharmacist, right? We're all chilling, having a little cookout out there. You know, I was out there on an internship or whatever. We had some downtime. We were in like the little housing area for the school, and man comes up to us, and man's had a sales pitch, a whole sales pitch presentation, all this other stuff, and I'm like, dog, this got to be fake. But just the hustle in my man, just like, you know, and we do not condone this, but it just goes to show that even related to that aspect of life, that it is still a different different atmosphere. It's a different vibe out there for that. Like, man's literally had a whole sales pitch and everything, just like, hello, my name is such and such, all this other stuff, and like, you know,
professional.
Very. I'm like, if he would have handed us a business card, I would have been like, dog, I'm flabbergasted right now. But it was on those type of lines. I'm like, I was speechless for words. But like I said, even in that aspect of life, it's a different vibe. It's a different ball game. And I'm like, if you gotta do all that, you know, to do what he's doing, just imagine like a job that actually is needed out here. Like you're a person that's supplying value to big corporations. Just imagine how that person has to move out here if what he's doing is how he's moving. Telling you, like,
I'm saying though, like imagine how many times I'm going to have to do that with the spread of the Aether universe. Imagine the people that I'm going to need to stand in front of in order to pass the message along that this world exists and that you need to pay attention to it. It's something that you need to pay attention to. That is something that is growing, and it's not going to stop growing just because you tell me no. Like, I'm going to need to do the same exact thing, and that's one of the things that people are afraid of. You know, people are afraid of public speaking. People are afraid of asking for what they want, and it's almost like if you can hide behind the structure of the big organizations that you work for, is almost like it makes everything okay, because you don't have to go stand in front of people and talk to people, do presentations and stuff to get a job. You just got to talk to one person on the interview, and that just depends on where you work at, because some places you don't even need to interview at, like Amazon. If y'all want an easy job that you don't have to think and use your brain for, that's going to pay you a little bit of money, go to Amazon. They hire without interviews. You'll be just fine. If that's the way you want to live, they hire without interviews over there. So go on over there, go get you an easy job so you can work 10, 13 hours a day, and just be happy with it. Have no holidays off, have no time with your family, and just be good with that. You know, if you don't want absolutely anything out of life, you just want to just hide, as you know, what they say, fly under the radar.
Yep.
Yeah, you can fly under the radar all you want over there.
Insane. insane.
But I'm trying to be the radar.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to have everybody aiming at me. That's what I'm trying to do. I want the smoke. Give me all of it. I want the smoke. Put me in front of whoever I need to be in front of. Tell me how to talk to the big Fortune 500 investors. Tell me how to talk to them. Show me the environments that they're in. Show me who gatekeeper for them. Introduce me to them. Like, I'm gonna be like that drug dealer that talk to y'all. I'm handing out business cards though. I'm pitching myself to people. I got my elevator pitch on point already. And not for me, not for my book, but for the Eighth Universe itself. It's ready to move. It's about to explode out of me. I don't even think people understand the amount of pressure that's building up in my brain just because I got this beast inside of me right now. I don't think people understand, bro. Like, I don't even think the people around me understand right now the amount of pressure that I have building, weighing on me right now because of this. So with that being said, because I am in this boat right now, because I feel the way I feel about about the Eighth Universe and about the things that I'm doing, the things that I feel like I'm capable of making happen in this lifetime of mine, I have no fear of moving forward. And that's not to say that I'm fearless, but the fear of not succeeding right now and what I'm doing outweighs the fear of failing.
Ooh.
I don't fear failing anymore. What I do fear is I fear not making not doing something. I fear sitting back and watching my dreams fall as I fall, because as we grow older, our bodies become less capable. I can't do the same sprint that I used to do 10 years ago. Oh, well, shit. I couldn't do the same sprint that I did 10 years ago when the Army was, yeah, they messed me all up, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. But I fear not making it happen. I don't fear the doing, but I fear the fact that when I die, the universe is going to die with me. I fear that more than I fear not having a stable situation to live in. I fear the fact that the Eighth Universe is not going to succeed more than I fear death itself. So when you get in a mentality like that, it's hard to it's hard to go back to small stuff.
Because retire.
I don't exactly. It's hard to retire. When I tell people I want to retire I want to retire early, you know, that's what I'm talking about. I want to retire from corporate America and do that only that. Like, I don't want to focus on nothing else but that, because I know if I can focus on nothing else but that, then that is going to move. I promise you it is. Like, it has no choice but to move. If I'm constantly pushing behind it, it's constantly going to move, right? So, man, I'm about to say something, man. Jesus. Bruh. I look at that the same way people look at their jobs, bro. Like, you know, I've never been the type of person to wake up and scramble to work. Like, I've never been that. Never. I tried. I tried. It worked for about 2 days. I was like, yo, I'm gonna make it to work on time. I'm gonna get on the road and I'm gonna drive 240 miles per hour to try to get to work on time. Like, I'm gonna be one of those people. And then I was like, yo, I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna go to work early. I'm gonna sit out in the parking lot for like 45 minutes. And when I did that, I ended up writing for 30 minutes after my shift started. So it didn't really matter anyway. So, you know, there's that. You know, even now, man, like I be having appointments and I'll put somebody on hold, because if I gotta step away to handle something Aether related, I'll put somebody on hold. I'll put an appointment on hold. And folks be like, yo, you can't do that to people. I'm like, yo, yeah, I can. I got stuff going on too.
Y'all. Ooh. Y'all, yeah. Like Max,
Talk to him,
y'all have to get to a position like Max is talking about. You have to be in a mindset where, you're tired of not succeeding. You're tired of not moving. So you move. You just move, and you worry about the consequences later. Like, every action has a equal and greater reaction. So once you start moving, yes, you're gonna get resistance. Point blank simple. Once you start moving, you're gonna get some type of resistance. Like Max said, he's in this mode that his brand is greater than his job. He's putting stuff, on hold at his job, at something we would deem like so important. Oh, we got to keep this job because we got to get the bills paid or whatever. But the thing you got in your head, your bag is worth more than that job. Your bag is that Honda or that 45,000 that limit
Since you went there,
priceless.
Mark.
That
Since you went there,
priceless.
Mark. Let's take it like this. Let's finish it the way we started it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since you went there, your bag is more valuable to you than anybody else in the world. The problem here's the thing. You be trying to trade in your bag at your job. So you be thinking that your job is going to value your bag more as much as you won't value it. And when your job turns around and tell you that your bag only worth $2, and you saying no, but I know for a fact it's worth 50,000 at least. Your job like, yo, your bag, oh, it don't exist. It's an idea that don't nobody really care about. You work for us, so don't even bother even trying to do that. And you just let them. You just let them tell you that your bag is irrelevant. So, just like Mark was saying, just like Mark was saying earlier, you got to take your bag to where it's valuable at.
Mm-hmm.
And if that ain't your job, then guess what? Deuces. And what you scared of? What you afraid of? You afraid of not making the money? Bro, I promise you. Like I said before, if you like it, there's gonna be at least 10 people that's gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be 20 more people outside of that's gonna obsess over it. So, like, for real, if you got the idea, chances are you can find somebody, at least 10 people that's going to support you in your dreams. That's going to support what you're doing. That's going to support the thing that you are trying to create, right? Like it's that simple. All you got to do is spend some time to go out there and find them. That's all you got to do. You got to spend some time in your bag. Bro, if you're trying to open up a truck, a food truck, like, all you got to do is go to a spot where people gonna like the food. If you like vegan food, bro, in a food truck, like, obviously you can't come to somewhere like Petersburg, Virginia. And if you grew up in Petersburg, Virginia, and you got a vegan food truck, guess what you gonna have to do? You're gonna have to leave the retirement community to go find the people who like the vegan food truck. You're gonna have to go find the people who want to live. You're gonna have to find the people who walking around with washboard abs and dimples on their lower back. You're gonna have to go find those people, but you're gonna have to leave the place that you at, because the place that you at don't see your bag as valuable. You're gonna have to go to where your bag is considered valuable. That's what you're gonna have to do. You can't trade it in at your job. Your job is not going to value your bag the same way you do. And let me tell you how deep this is. And you can try to rotate the focus and try to make your bag important to your job, bro. Look, for real, I promise y'all, I do motorcycle reviews. Bro. Like, for real. Like, this is not even a joke. I do motorcycle reviews on YouTube. I do a moto vlog on YouTube. I'm talking about motorcycles on YouTube, bro. When I got my job when I got my current job at a motorcycle dealership, I told them about my bag. Mark, what you think they did with my bag?
Oh, we're gonna put that to the side. We
We're
don't
gonna
need
throw it
that.
right. We're
We
gonna throw
don't
it in the
need that.
corner for right now. Let's revisit it later. Let's do XYZ first. Let's do this, that, and the other first. We don't need to talk about that right now. Mark, when I first got there, bro, they had some dude and they were paying this man, bro. I don't even know what they were paying my man, but it was a ridiculous amount of money. They had him going. They had him going to this spot, and he was going. He took his phone and was just walking around the bikes. No words, no music, just regular random ass sounds, music playing in the background in the dealership. He was just walking around the bikes. 30-second videos, most walking around the bike. That's it. I'm like, bro, I could do 10 times better than that. I get a list of features on these bikes. I did a whole presentation for them. I tried to show them my bag multiple times. And right now at this moment right now, they're complaining about pictures because pictures aren't being taken. There's nothing happening on social media. There's no online visibility for the company in this area. And now they want to complain and try to tell us that we're gonna have to come in on a Monday to fix it. One of our only days off.
Oh no. Oh no.
And the first thing I told them, I said, look, I tried to present the opportunity to you guys when I first started working here. You didn't want to hear it, so I'm not coming in on a Monday to do that. Because when I asked to come in on a Monday to do this, when I said, can you guys come in earlier so we can do XYZ? They said, yeah, but let's not do that right now. Yeah. We can do that some other time. Yeah. Let's sideline that for the moment. Okay. So now when it's your problem, now you want me to step out of my bag to come focus on your bag. No, I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen, focus on that. Focus on what you have in front of you. Focus on your talents. Focus on your skills. Focus on your gifts. What do you do that other people find? What do you do well that other people find challenging to do? What is that thing? Do you write good? Are you a good producer? A music producer? Are you drawing? Are you making video games, doing digital design? You working algorithms, writing code? Like, what do you do well that other people find challenging? Get into that and focus on nothing but that. Find a way to focus on nothing but that. And I promise you, like, we come from a retirement community. I understand. There's a lot of rewiring that we're going to need to do in our brains. There's a lot of things that we're going to need to restructure up here. This is not something that we can ignore. And I understand it's going to take some time. Just give it time. Because at least if you give it time and try to rework everything and focus on what you need to do, then you can at least start making adjustments, small adjustments in your life here and there that support your transition of moving into your bag, bro. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. This is a process. The Eighth Universe has been building for the last 16 years. 16 years, bro. I've been trying to rewire myself to focus on nothing but the Eighth Universe. And I finally getting to a point where I can do nothing but that. But it's going to be challenging, y'all. It's going to be hard. You think I ain't scared? Bruh, there's a lot of anxiety coming from the move that I'm about to make. But it needs to be done. Why? Because the Eighth Universe needs to be talked about. It needs to be explored. It needs to blow up. Because if it don't blow up, I'm gonna blow up, and not in a good way.
Yeah. Oh
So,
man. Yeah. Yeah. Like Max said, Max said a lot, but you guys, y'all gotta dive deep into that bag. Y'all gotta get started. The first step is gonna be the hardest step, but make those continuous steps forward into your bag. Move if you got to, go to where you and your bag are valued. And you got anything else for him? Any closing remarks?
That was the closing remark. I'm good.
All right. Also, like Max said, you know, there got to be a piece of focus in there, you know. So focus on the Dirty Trunk podcast, because this is where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the AJ McMullen. And before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. And we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember that those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.